guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're here at Subaru South Tampa, and guess what? I have an updated, changed up version of Subaru's largest vehicle that they currently sell in the United States. This is it. This is a 2023 Subaru Ascent. This particular one is a limited. But before we get into this ginormous all-wheel drive Subaru, let's talk about what's going on here. When you think Subaru, for so many decades, it was all about the Outback and the Forester. Yes, of course, we talk many times about the WRX and the STI and of course the Impreza, but the Ascent was a vehicle specifically designed because of what's happening in the auto industry. That mid-size three-row SUV segment is on fire, and a lot of vehicles have been booming sales-wise, specifically the Hyundai Palisade and the Kia Telluride. Well, Subaru being Subaru, they decided to bring their symmetrical all-wheel drive, their flat four boxer engine. This one does have a turbocharger, but what I want to find out is, comparing it to the other key players that are selling so well, like the Telluride and the Palisade, is this the best new mid-size three-row SUV you should be buying? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out with our refreshed Ascent. Right off the bat, the color. That pearlescent white really pops nicely. And then of course, at the front of the business is where we're gonna see some of the largest changes on this large SUV. You're gonna have an updated headlight housing, much more angular. I do like the way it locks in a little bit cleaner with the front grille. You do have the old-fashioned Thomas Edison. I could actually see him in there flashing that turn signal bulb. So we are gonna have to zonk that, but of course you have the projector beam headlights and you have LED daytime running lamps, which is nice. Now working your way down, you do have some flat black. There is a bit of fake vent, but the good news is they did put an LED fog lamp on each side. It just would have been nice if they would have made this vent a little functional. So I'll give it just a half zonk, not a full zonk, because of that LED lighting. We got a little bit more flat black, and then as we come across the big supersized grille, here's where you start to see some major changes. All new grille design, nice metallic black. You got your chrome trim right in the center with that massive Subaru badge, that constellation, so much history with the Subaru badge and name. Of course, we have a forward-facing camera. And then another addition that you're gonna see is in the lower portion, you're gonna have actual functional vents on the inner side on the bottom portion of the front end. Now, with the front end, you do have the flat black all the way across, and I think that's a smart move because it definitely takes a better beating over gloss black. But let me know what you think so far about this new grille and front fascia. Do you think it looks more aggressive than the previous example on the Ascent? Let me know in that comment section. Now, as we rise up, you'll notice still the same great hood. You got a nice mini bulge in the center. I like the way the edges curve and lock into that new top portion of the grille. And then as we slide across the front, Steven's gonna swing around, I'm gonna stay put, and we're gonna show you what's going on with your wheels and tires. So what you're gonna have is an all new wheel design, machined aluminum with that metallic gray finish. I like the way they really gave it a unique style wheel on this particular vehicle. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this wheel? It's a 20-inch wheel. What I don't like necessarily is the flat black around the fender opening. At least on this limited trim, it would have been nice to have that painted. Let me know how you feel about it. I guess the good news is it does not come up too far into the fender, but I'm definitely digging their new interpretation of Subaru style on the wheels. Now, as we rise up, one of the things you're gonna notice as we kind of swing around here is that when you go to this particular trim, you're gonna get this nice brushed aluminum on the mirror caps. Gives it that elevated look. You got your LED turn signals. We got 360-degree cameras on this Ascent. You have the bright, shiny metalwork top and bottom, and that's fine because it goes nicely with what's on the mirror cap. Down below, you got some flat black and a little bit of shiny chrome finish. I think the thing that I would have liked to have seen is all the shiny chrome finish, make it look like the aluminum on the mirror cap. I think that would have been a better touch. You do have your raised roof rail, something so important for Subaru owners. They more than any other brand owner like to go camping, like to go kayaking, mountain biking. So you got your raised roof rails, easily get your kayak carrier, your mountain bike carrier up top, even a cargo basket. You'll notice the metal trim, how it flows nicely into the rear quarter window, color matched on the door handles. And then as we kind of slide, we're gonna kind of reverse here, and Steven's gonna drop back, and then I'm gonna follow him here. We're gonna talk about the tail end of the business. So coming through, what do we got? You have a nice large rear area. I like the way they extend that roof spoiler off the back. It is color matched. Wiper though, it would be nice if it tucked underneath just to clean up the back portion. You know how I feel about those. You do have LED on your brake lights, but we got the old-fashioned bulb there in your turn signal. But I do like the way they did the shape on it, because it locks in clean with that chrome strip across the center. Like I was saying, that aluminum would have looked a little bit more cohesive and not so, I don't know, kind of blingy in a way if it was just a nice flat brushed aluminum silver. Of course, you're gonna get all your badging, that symmetrical all-wheel drive, full-time all-wheel drive in the Subaru. We got our limited badge, and then as we work our way down, you got a nice large cover that's gonna hide any of the towing accessories, because you can tow with this Ascent. And then we have one nice finish exhaust on each side. It's an oval opening, little bit of a slash cut. I tend to like that nice balanced look, unlike a Telluride or a Palisade where they just have the exhaust on one side. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk numbers on this Ascent. All right, guys, I got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod, which I am gonna zone, because I would like to see, at least on the limited trim, some hood struts. But one thing I wanna focus before we get to the engine is you'll notice the arrow that they do with the under hood scoop. So when your hood is closed, you're gonna feed fresh air into these openings through the top portion of the grille, and look where it dumps out on. It's gonna dump out on that large top mounted intercooler. That's something that Subaru has been known for years and years when it comes to the WRX and STI. But what do we got? We have a 2.4 liter flat four, turbocharged flat four engine, putting out 260 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a CVT. And that is probably gonna be the weak link in the chain. Let me know how you feel about the CVT in the Subaru Ascent. A little different than other CVTs, but still a CVT. 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds, top speed 130 miles per hour. You could tow 5,000 pounds with this vehicle. MPGs, 20 in the city, 26 on the highway, and it weighs 4,600 pounds. Now, what's great about having a flat four engine is that engine is sitting very low in the chassis, which is actually gonna help with overall driving dynamics. And even though this isn't a rally car, it's still gonna make you feel good behind the wheel. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this large and in charge Subaru and see it in motion. All right, guys, we're inside this 2023 Subaru Ascent. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I need a larger SUV. I didn't listen to my folks. I had too many kids. I don't know where to put them. I don't want a minivan. That ain't happening. I don't want a Suburban. I'm not ready for that. But I am digging this midsize three-row SUV. How much is it? MSRP for this limited, the way that it's optioned, is right around $47,000. Let's see what you get compared to the Telluride and the Palisade to the door panels. I love what Subaru has been doing with their materials. Soft touch up top. Yes, you got some shiny chrome on the door handle. That's not a big deal. And then this one is optioned with the beige interior. Now, you can get a different color, but but for filming purposes, you can see that nice two-tone pops very cleanly, soft on the armrest, flat black around the switchgear. It's just that door pocket is on the tighter side. So maybe one chili dog from Checkers and a bottle of Surge to wash it down. We got the Harman Kardon sound system. And then going from the door panel to the dash, more of that soft touch material. Instead of putting this weird indentation valley, I would have liked to have seen some simulated stitching. This, I'm not really digging. Not my favorite, so I am gonna zonk that. But I do like the way you have a baker's dozen for Twinkies. Your Twinkie tray here, the two-tone material is nice with the stitching. And then you get to the center stack. You have that large and in charge. Gone is the 6.5 and the 8-inch. This is that 11.6-inch portrait-style infotainment system, wireless Apple CarPlay, navigation, the whole 9 yards. You do have physical buttons for temperature adjustment and for radio controls, but everything else is through the screen. It is a touchscreen, of course, and you do have all your different apps that you could go through. Pretty responsive. And then, of course, to do the AC, that's where it gets a little cumbersome. When you're driving, to have to slide and change all this, it makes you take your eyes off the road. So not my favorite. You do have 3 stages of heated seats, but guess what? At almost $50,000, no ventilated seats. That's a big zonk. We hit the little car icon. You can see how you can make all your adjustments, including to X mode. This does have adaptive cruise control for 2023. Throw it in reverse. They worked on the resolution for the backup camera and for the 360. It does have trajectory on both. I just wish that it would take up a little bit more of this room. You can go one or the other, which is nice, but I would like to see both nice and large and in charge. And then, of course, you got your different X modes. Deep snow, mud. We really have to deal with snow here in Florida. Then you have regular snow. So you have deep snow and you have regular snow. So this is like a snow cone mode. This is like a rocky road, a big old bowl of rocky road mode with your X mode selector. Put it back in the park. I'm gonna cancel that. And now we're just gonna go right back to home. Easy peasy, Subaru squeezy. Down below, you got enough room down here, I would say for 3 Musketeers. USB-C, a USB-A, and Steven is very happy to see an aux jack. This is going to control your CVT transmission. 2 cup holders. I am a big fan. I've always thought Subaru does a nice job on their key fob with the Subaru badge as one of your buttons, and then the nice aluminum finish. Good size. High up on the armrest, feeling really good. Lift it up, what do we got? You got yourself a nice little felt line. So this is where you could put all your Aladdin's Castle game tokens for the next time you go to the arcades. You could keep those in here. And then you got enough room in there, I would say, 2 stuffed dog Subaru stuffed animals. So, you know, you could go to Subaru's website, you get yourself some dogs, some stuffed dogs. They got little Subaru shirts on them. They're real cute for the kids. Maybe you want to hold on to one. You got room for 2 of those in there. Maybe get like a Greyhound and a German Shepherd. I don't know, maybe a Schnauzer. Whatever floats your boat, put them in there. Seats, nice soft material. I like what they did with the perforated. Bolstering is great because it's soft and squishy. You do have electric seat controls for the passenger and electric seat controls for the driver, of course. And then to wrap it up, you got this nice large panoramic sunroof. Goes all the way back, and what's great is that it actually opens up for you as well. It's not fixed like some of the brands are, but why don't you get your butt over here? Stop staying fixed over there. Get over here because I want to show you behind the wheel of this new Ascent. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings. You do have your seat controls, easy to get to. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here, even with the fixed, well, technically it's not fixed, even with the full panoramic sunroof. And then you got the steering wheel. I do like the leather. I do like that Babe Ruth baseball stitching that goes around, nice contrast stitching. Flat black on all the switchgear. It is a heated steering wheel. You do have paddles to go through simulated gears with the CVT, and it is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have the dash. I think the most disappointing thing is there's no full digital display. You have a small 5-inch digital display in the center, and then you have your analog gauges. Other than that, it's very simplistic. That might not necessarily be a bad thing because at a quick glance, they're very easy to read. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the mid-row and see how your passengers are gonna like that you got an Ascent over the competition. All right, guys, mid-row time. And you know what? One of the things that the Subaru Ascent excels at, it's got probably more cup holders than any other midsize SUV. It's about 18 cup holders in here, so you could really pack on the drinks, the super Slurpees and everything else. I do like the way they went two-tone and they went dark material on the back of the seat so that when your kids are kicking the seat with their dirty shoes, it's not gonna get all marked up, or at least not show that it's marked up as bad if it was all the beige color. You got nice large pockets here. Easily put, I would say, 4 Boston cream donuts. And that's another reason why you want the dark, so that you can clean all the fudge and Boston cream off the back of the seats. You'll notice command center wise, we got a nice, easy to read, legible rear AC controls with your temperature gauge, your blower switch, heated seats, no ventilated seats. Let me know how you feel about that. You see that? This is where a home power source is supposed to go, but this one does not have it. USB-C, USB-A, what does this do? There's your cup holders. And what I like is that they expand pretty large to get those larger drinks, but it's kind of low on the ground, to be honest with you. I'm sitting here, like I said, 6 feet tall, got the AC vents nicely placed. Seats do slide. They do recline a pretty far distance, and they do have a captain's chair ratcheting armrest. I'm actually gonna let it slide. I think it's just wide enough to hold a human arm instead of like some doll arm or something like that. So not too shabby, but you know what? It's that time. Let's see how a grown adult like myself fits in the third row of this Subaru Ascent. All right, guys, third row time, and this is where it gets a little wonky. As you can see, my knees a little too high, and I have to hunch over just a tad because my head is that close to the headliner. So my advice, get the kids that you like the least in your family to sit in the third row because you're not spoiling them, I promise you that. Maybe get your kids' friends, you know, those ones that annoy you and just leave their bikes laying on your yard and killing the grass and all that. Put them back here. They won't enjoy it very much. But for a quick drive, it's not too bad. I do have USB-A's, which are nice. And of course, you got rear seat AC, but other than that, it's just a little on the cramped side. Let's go ahead though. Let's put down this seat and see how much room we have in the cargo area of this large Subaru. All right, guys, time to get in that cargo area. Hit the button. Nice electric assist. About a mild to medium speed. What you're gonna be greeted to, I actually put the third row up. I left the third row up. So what you're looking at is gonna be cubic feet wise, 18 cubic feet of space. Now you can get more, but before I show you more room, I wanna show you a couple things. First of all, we got a 12 volt on the driver's side. Real easy to get to, you just flip it up and plug it in. The next thing is we gotta get these weird headrests down. It's one of the most bizarre looking headrests. Looks like one of those droids from Star Wars Episode 1. You hit the button. I do like how fast they just drop right down. No buttons or anything. It's all manual, and I'm okay with that. So you're actually gonna just lift up and push down. Lift up and push down. That's gonna give you 58 cubic feet of space. I like how it's nice and flat. And one of the things I wanna kind of showcase is when I was sitting in the third row, this is what I had access to. There's your USBs, you got your little Skittles holder, 2 large cup holders, and the speakers from that Harman Kardon sound system. Now you can fold down the middle row, of course. That is gonna give you 86.5 cubic feet of space. But what I also like is that you lift this up, what do we got? You actually have your security shade, but you also have storage. You could easily put 1, 2, 3 boxes of Twinkies, no problem. And then we're gonna close this back up. It's actually removable, as you can see. We'll close this back up, and if you're ready, I'm ready. We got a turbocharged large SUV. Let's go ahead and take this Ascent for a little spin. All right, guys, we left Subaru South Tampa. We're in this 2023 Subaru Ascent Limited. Right away, you're gonna like having that new 11.6-inch infotainment system, especially the way that they integrate it. That is probably one of the biggest pluses, is that how well and clean it's integrated into the center dash area. Visibility is amazing in this vehicle, and that's one thing that Subaru really puts a lot of time and effort into. And then, of course, all the safety features, the revised eyesight. You have, of course, all of the different settings that are there for your safety, and that's what makes it especially nice in this Ascent. All right, I found a little place here where I could get to a dead stop. I want to show you the on-throttle acceleration. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. So you can see how when you're on throttle, it does take a second for the boost to build, and then you get going. No simulated shifts when you're flat on throttle, but you can, like I said, use the paddles, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You take the shifter, the shift lever, pull it over to the left, and now we have manual simulated gears. It actually has a little bit of a gear indicator there, let you know you're in second, you're in first. And now we're gonna go and drive this route. Pulling out into traffic, no big deal at all because of that turbocharged power. And then you heard the beeping sound. Remember, you have that great eyesight technology that's gonna help you with brake assist, lane keep assist. You got the adaptive cruise control. So with that system, it's one of the best in the industry, especially because of where it's mounted. The eyesight system being mounted up top really allows you to have a successful use of it. And the reason why is because a lot of times with other vehicles where the sensors are in the bumpers, it gets covered with bugs, with dirt, and then they malfunction. Having it high up on the windshield area allows that area to stay relatively clean more often than not. But I do like the way the simulated gears are working with the CVT. And let's see how it handles. On throttle, here we go. So if you're the type of person that likes a lighter steering feel, you're definitely gonna like this Ascent. Steering is nice and light. I feel super connected with the symmetrical all-wheel drive, and that is something that Subaru has always done very, very well, and quite respectable, getting some decent returns on the MPGs, even with the full-time all-wheel drive system. I'm gonna go ahead and take the shift lever, put it back into regular just drive, and as you can see, we're doing about 52 miles an hour, and we're turning about 1,500 RPM. So that gives you an idea of what that cruising RPM is like as you're driving to and from work and whatnot. But I do like the way you have lots of storage in here. Seats are comfortable, supportive, without being squishy. It's just when you compare it to the Telluride or the Palisade, they're bringing a lot more features for the price. That's what it boils down to. But definitely the driving experience feels good within this Ascent, especially the limited trim. But like I was saying, you know, it's nice and composed with the feedback that you get. And that's what makes it reassuring. That's what gives you confidence. That's what helps you feel safe at the end of the day. All right, guys, it's been a great day here at Subaru South Tampa. Definitely want to thank Passandro and the rest of the team getting us access to this fresh off the truck 2023 Subaru Ascent Limited. Let me know what you think. Has Subaru made the right updates to keep this within competition reach with the Telluride and the Palisade? Let me know in that comment section how you feel. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rise family. We got to give it up to the human tripod. That's one of his many nicknames. Stephen Flood from Stephen Flood Photography, working that camera like a champ. Show him some love in that comment section. You could even ask him, why do they call him the human tripod? The answer might surprise you. Thank you, Stephen, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.